If you are a woman who tells a man that you don't want children, you're wasting your time. A man is going to make it his mission to convince you and to get you to change your mind out of having a child. Please listen to this story.
Am I the asshole for refusing full custody of my daughter after my husband asked for a divorce? I, 31 female, have been together with my husband Alex, 33 male, for 7 years. Married for 4 years. Alex was always really excited about the prospect of children from the beginning of our relationship. I was always on the fence. I've seen how hard single moms have it. I promised myself I'd never be in that position. Plus, I work as a software engineer. I love my career and I didn't want to give it up to be a mom. After Alex and I got married, those fears went away. We were very much in love. I felt safe with him, and I told him my fears, and he said all the right things to make them vanish. Sounds like Alex was a good dude. So, we tried for a baby and had our daughter, Ramona, 2 years after we got married. The pregnancy and first year with the baby was extremely hard on me. I had multiple health problems during and after the pregnancy that were life-threatening and altered my body permanently. That's rough. I was disabled and nearly died once in the 6 months after I gave birth. And during this time, my husband grew distant and became angry frequently when we'd speak. I spent a lot of time in and out of the hospital and was unable to work, so a lot of the baby care went to him during this time. It was all I could do to stay alive and get better, being separated from my daughter and husband so much. Eventually, I did get better enough to help more with the baby, but after I was discharged from the hospital, he barely spoke to me. That's a damn shame. Like, in a relationship, it's always 100. And sometimes your 100% is 10%. And that's when the other person got to take up that 90%. But let's keep it going. I want to clarify early that at no time did I ever neglect our daughter if I was able to care for her. I leaned on him a lot during this period, but I was also fighting for my health and my life so that I could continue to be there for her. If I had pushed myself too hard, I would have made it worse or be dead. That's a fact. We stayed in a state of limbo like this for a while. I was still in recovery, not back to 100% yet, but able to resume a somewhat normal life, and we shared more responsibility with Ramona. I tried talking to him many times over the next 6 months, but it was more of the same thing. He wouldn't speak to me or he'd get angry, and every little thing I did, insist I was making things up and blame me for somehow criticizing him. It was a constant deflection from whatever was bothering him. I got another job about 9 months after the pregnancy, and things seemed to improve for a while, or at least I thought. Not long after Ramona's first birthday, Alex served me with divorce papers. He said he'd fallen out of love with me a long time ago and he was ready to start anew. I was in shock. Things had started to improve between us, but he explained that was because he decided to leave and he felt less unhappy. Piece of shit. It was a Saturday when this happened, so I made sure he was going to be home to care for Ramona for the weekend. Then I packed a bag and left until Sunday evening. I didn't say where I was going, and truthfully, I didn't really go anywhere but drive. I drove 2 states over by the time I stopped. I needed to think. Girl, you using a lot of gas to be thinking. I ought to went to Target and thought of something. When I got back Sunday evening, he was pissed I'd left him alone with our daughter. He's always seemed really put off any time he had to care for her alone, and this time was no exception. I sat him down and very carefully said, I will grant you a no contest divorce, but I am not accepting full custody of Ramona. If he was only pissed before, he was explosive now, and everything he hated about me finally came out. That I was a horrible mother, that I wasn't strong enough to even be a mother, that I was too weak to carry a child, and now I was abandoning her. I very calmly stated that I loved her dearly and would not abandon her, that I would pay child support and visit every other weekend, that I would be there for her in any way I could, but I had been very clear with him when we got married that I would never be a single mom. He became borderline violent at this, grabbing things like he was going to throw them and screaming that I was ruining his life on purpose. Bruh, if she's such a bad mom, then shouldn't you be overjoyed at this? Shouldn't you be pushing for sole custody of your daughter if she's such a horrible mom? I wasn't going to stick around and be talked to like this, so I went and checked on Ramona, gave her a kiss, then grabbed my bag and left again. A couple days later, his mother texted me. He'd left Ramona with her for a few days, and she had some nasty things to say to me. That a mother should never leave her child, etc. I told her it wasn't her business and that her son doesn't get a free pass to restart his life because his wife nearly died when she was pregnant and she became resentful with the responsibility. He's also blown up my phone asking me when I'm gonna come back so, quote, you can take your daughter. But I've only replied, I've already told you what's gonna happen here. I love my daughter immensely and I will be a provider for her. I will always support her, but I won't be her primary parent, so am I the asshole? This is a messed up situation all the way around. I think you are the asshole, honestly, because first off, both y'all are the asshole for trying to buck responsibility. Like, if I was with somebody and they didn't want to be a parent to the kid, I don't care what I said before. I'm just gonna have to be a single father. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get this. You don't want to be a single mom so bad that you're willing to, you know, basically it seems like have less custody than somebody that clearly shown that they don't care about your daughter. Like, this is a messed up situation all the way around for to me. I think she's an asshole, but I get it. You know, at the end of the day, you did say that you wouldn't be a single parent and you following through with it. So, I mean, can't nobody really fault you on that one.
Men literally have the mindset of, I am given something that I don't want anymore, and because I don't want it anymore, I'm going to completely walk away from it with no strings attached. Even though I'm the reason why we're in this position in the first goddamn place. That woman made it very clear. She did not want children. He coerced and clearly manipulated her into giving him a child. She has said child, and I always say this. If you're a woman who did not want children, you're going to have to pay the price. Usually physically or mentally, you're going to have to pay the price for giving a man a child that you don't want. This happens more commonly, more often than you think. Women will end up letting a man convince him to give him a child, convince her to give him a child. And then what happens is that either the child comes out like special needs or some type of, ailment, or the woman has some type of life-changing, life-altering event because of the pregnancy and because of the delivery. Do not do it. Do not let a man go ahead and coerce you into having a child for him. Because guess what? The end result is usually going to be the same. He will, just like he will leave you if you had told him, no, I don't want the child, quit pushing me to have this child. Just like he will leave you then, he then is going to leave you once he sees how much work it's going to take to raise a child. I feel like that happens most of the time when women get themselves coerced into having children for men. This woman ended up having to suffer all of these physical issues from the pregnancy. She's not able to care for the child. She could barely get back on her feet to be able to work after she had delivered the fucking baby. This man literally thought that he was going to be able to divorce her and walk away, not only divorce her, but divorce his child. And I love that she stood on business and she's like, no, like, I already told you that to begin with, I did not want the child to begin with. You're the one that wanted the child. You got the child that you wanted. Now it's time for you to raise the child that you want, because she has now suffered a consequence physically, a negative consequence physically, because she gave him the child that he wanted. Now that he has said child, he doesn't want her, nor does he want the child. And literally getting pissed off that you're watching your own child is fucking crazy. Quit giving these men children if you don't want one, please.